A massive crowd of people were seen lining up at an Ontario McDonald's to apply for jobs, showing the reality of the current job market. The viral video was captured at a McDonald's in Oshawa, showing a sea of people snaking around the restaurant's parking lot, and now many people are commenting on this, calling this wild and devastating, pointing out how many grown adults are in line for what are presumably entry-level positions. What are your thoughts on this?
Do you guys want to know how crazy the job market is in Canada? I guess if you're on the hunt for a job, you'll probably already know. But for the rest that aren't looking for work and you're curious as to what is happening in the job market. So in Toronto, there was a recent job hiring fair for temporary workers for the CNE. So if you guys don't know what the CNE is, it's a fair that is held in Toronto for 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks of the summer. And there's 5,000 temporary jobs that pays minimum wage for, and it's great for kids, university students, high school students, that sort of thing. There were 54,000 applicants for 5,000 jobs. As a comparison, last year, same number of jobs, about 5,000, there were 34,000 applicants. Either way, it's still crazy, but if this year's any indicator of what is happening in the job market, there you go. That's exactly what's happening.
The CNE says it has received a record 54,000 online applications to work at the fair this summer. The X has about 5,000 openings to fill. Last year, about 4,000 people applied for jobs at the CNE. This backs up figures that show youth unemployment is rising to its highest level in 16 years.
When I speak with people all the time, we make the joke that it resembles the Hunger Games more than a traditional job market. It is super cutthroat, and it is wholly in favor of the employers. A lot of times it's very hopeless when you're talking with young people. The most frustrating thing is that they've done everything quote unquote right. Every single piece of advice that they've been given or that they could find in order to stand out in this job market, a lot of them have been applying it successfully, and they're not getting the results or the returns that you would expect. It's almost like the market's gaslighting them and saying, like, you know, you're doing all these things wrong, but not revealing like what it is that they were doing wrong.
So what are you telling them then when you're speaking with these young people that are feeling that way and having these sorts of issues, finding, in some cases, like you're saying, even just their first job? What are you telling them?
I tell them that the best thing that you can do for yourself individually is to make yourself stand out and to develop your skills. I've been encouraging them to look at entrepreneurial endeavors as a vehicle for skill development and enable to them to stand out. If the entrepreneurial endeavors turn out to be successful, they may not need a job at all. My biggest concern is that systemically, we've made it harder for youth to get employment and for them to also have third spaces and other resources to create community. When you have a lot of times on your hands, it's easier and easier to be tempted by paths that aren't ideal for your future. So there is going to be a ripple effect if we don't address this. We owe it to our youth to address it.
Trying to find a job as a young person in Canada right now is not easy.
I've been going to like job fair after job fair. There's so much people like in the same room. It's just like, it's very scary, very overwhelming.
Listen, the job market is so trash right now for young people that even the CNE says they received a record-breaking, listen to this, 54,000 online job applicants for the end of summer fair.
Overwhelming, the amount of people that are here. I'm like, oh my God.
I'll never get a response on Indeed or anything. I was looking at all the jobs, all the people. I'm like, okay, I'll be here till 2 o'clock.
Now, this surge in applications actually comes as Canada's youth unemployment rate sits at one of the highest it's been in recent years, above 14%, and that's according to Statistics Canada. And listen, the frustration is real. Young people at the fair talked about how draining the search has been, some even saying they've been applying for jobs for a hot minute now.
I've applied maybe around 30 jobs. I've gone in some interviews, but bad luck.
We applied to a lot of spaces and none of them accepted because the job market's pretty rough out here.
But fortunately for some of these young people, they were able to walk out with a job.
We just got hired. The search has been so hard. It's just so relieving finally getting a job. I'm very excited. I actually landed a job.
So I sit down at the end of the interview. It told me I got the job. I'm like, wow, damn.
So BG Squad, let me ask you, because not many young people are as lucky. So do you know any young people struggling to find a job, and what do you think the solution should be? Let me know right now in the comments below.
So apparently McDonald's is gonna hire 20,000 new people in the summer. I think that's cap, because why have I not gotten a call back on all the many different positions that I've applied for? Same as Tim Hortons, same as all the other fast food places. When I was 16, I can easily get a job in Canada. A lot of young adults like me and teenagers are currently looking for jobs and we're not getting calls back. It's very frustrating and it does cause depression because when you're constantly handing out resumes and nobody's calling you back, that's not normal. I feel like the only proper thing a young adult can do now is start their own business because we clearly can't be working for anybody because no one's gonna fucking hire us. Even when they say that they're hiring, they're not hiring. Jobs will literally have a poster on their window saying now hiring, and then when you go to hand a resume in, they look all confused. Literally feels like I'm begging here, like I'm begging for a job, like I have to give them like my soul. Because every single day, me and millions of other Canadians are handing out resume after resume after resume and still hearing nothing back from literal fast food places.
You're probably not gonna get a call back from that job that you just applied for. And I'm gonna tell you why. I guarantee you can go on LinkedIn, Indeed, wherever right now and see thousands of jobs open. And some even say that they urgently hiring. But what most people don't know is that these companies got AI and different software that will filter your resume and application out long before it even makes it to an actual person. And this software is looking for keywords that align with the job description itself, which means you could be very much so qualified, but if you don't tailor your resume to the actual job description, you're not even gonna make it past step one. Another reason is these companies either want master's degrees or 10 years of working experience for the most entry-level positions. Go to school for 4 years, get out with a degree, apply for an entry-level position in your career field, and you still get told that you're underqualified or not enough work history. Like, bro, that's why I'm here. The most important thing is to pull keywords from that job description over to your resume. That'll at least get you past step one and all the bots and the AIs and all of that. From there, you prep yourself to kill the interview. Good luck to everybody.
Let's talk about the job market. Why is it so hard when you're applying to jobs and like none of them respond back? The nice thing that you could do is say unfortunately, so I'm not sitting here thinking like maybe they'll respond. I had a job that I applied for literally a year ago just get back to me. This is not normal. And I know I'm not the only one because I'm on LinkedIn and I see so many people talking about this subject.
If you ever wonder why the gym's always so busy on a random Tuesday at like 10 a.m., this video's for you. Daniel Tosh made this amazing joke in one of his specials a few years back, and he said, 10% of Americans don't deserve jobs, and he dropped the mic. And that kind of scratched my head in all the right ways. So I went and did the math so you don't have to. So right now, the United States Labor Bureau reports that the unemployment rate is about 4%. Well, that is only factoring the active workforce. And if you look up the active workforce numbers, that's around 160 million Americans out of around a 330 million American population. So that means about 50% of America is either actively working, has a part-time job, or is looking for a job, unemployed. That leaves 50% of people without a job. So they're just doing whatever on a daily basis. And of that 50% that's actually in the workforce, if you take away the part-time jobs and you take away the people who are unemployed, that only leaves about 75% of the people who actually have a full-time job working Monday through Friday. And now with work-life balance and people being able to work remotely and they can, be a little more flexible with their schedule, they can go to the gym at Tuesday at 10 a.m. So when you look at those numbers, that's only about 36% of the United States population that is actually working a 9-to-5 job or is fully employed. So there you go.
If you have gotten a job in this job market, can you please tell me what you did in the comments? Because I'm going insane. I just went through 2 months, 6 rounds of interviews with a company, made it to the very end. I was so sure I was going to get it, and I just got rejected. Nothing else has panned out. I've interviewed with the company I used to work at, other companies, all types of roles. I have an engineering degree. I was working at a really good company before this, and now I'm hitting 9 months of unemployment and I'm going insane. I feel silly making a TikTok about this, but I don't know what else to do. I feel like I've tried everything. I was on LinkedIn messaging people. I've used my connections. I don't know what else to do.
The job market right now is so trash that you might as well just stay at that shitty job that you hate until you get like another job locked in. So up until last week, I was unemployed for about 2 months. And the first month, I pretty much just chilled, treated it like a vacation. But by the second month, that's when I started applying to places. And I applied to about 10, 15 different places. And out of those 15 places, I heard back from maybe only 1 or 2 places. The rest, I didn't get no call, no emails, nothing. And when I had a job, I would see people come on here all the time talking about how the job market's shitty, that it sucks. And I really thought they were just talking. I didn't think it was true until I actually was unemployed and was looking for jobs. That it hit me. It was like, damn, bro, they really ain't lying. The job market really fucking sucks right now.
Stop fucking lying. You're not hiring. Take that shit down. I'll apply 4 times. Who taking the application? Huh?